What do you think of when you hear the word budget? Exactly. Lack, limitation, less than, not enough, scarcity. That's exactly what you get. Why? Because your brain has already created associations to the word budget. And you don't want to associate your brain to that word anymore because it's probably causing lack, limitation, scarcity, and less than what you're capable of in your life. We're striking that word from your vocabulary. You're probably wondering why you're consistently at a place where you don't have enough money, where you're lacking, where you're doing all the work that you possibly can, but income's not coming in. Or you get to the end of the month and there's not enough. You're constantly, very likely, finding yourself in that same cycle of less than or not enough. The real problem is very likely your choice of language. The way you're speaking to yourself, consciously or unconsciously, because a lot of our communication that we say to ourselves happens unconsciously and we don't even know it. So you're very likely speaking to yourself with limitation and lack, and you're not aware of it. Every time you use the word budget, your brain associates lack and limitation and scarcity, because that is the nature of that word. That's what we've trained it as. So what do we end up with? More lack, limitation, and scarcity. Let's keep it simple. Your brain has a reactive part and a creative part. The reactive part is there to support your security and your survival, and it activates every time there's a threat to your security and your survival. You also have a creative part of your brain. That's the higher centers of the brain, and that is there to support you to have higher levels of reasoning and order. So whenever you hear the word budget, because it implies limitation and lack and you want to go against it, it's very likely that your brain shifts to the lower centers of the brain and you go into reaction. So it is wise, as much as possible, to support yourself to remain in the higher centers of the brain. In order for that to happen, you've got to use the right language and the right words. It's all about association. When you start to associate your brain with a different word, it'll start to associate with different circumstances and different meanings. For example, if you begin to use money plan instead of budget, your brain starts to associate with planning, with creation. It's a money plan, not a budget. Budget associates with reaction, associates with the past, associates with limitation. When you start using a money plan, you start to gain the essence of what a money plan is actually for. It's there for you to create your financial life just as you create your own life, because we as human beings have the power to create. We have the power to create things in our life. One of those things that you may accept responsibility for creating is your money plan. The purpose of a money plan is to tell your money where to go. See, when you plan and tell your money where to go, it goes where you want it to go, not where it decides for you to go. So either money listens to you or money listens to other people other than you, the things that go on outside of you. So if you want your money to listen to you, it's important to plan your money and have a money plan. I've worked with clients that managed to change their outside circumstances simply by changing their language patterns. So we have a lot of power in our language, and you have the ability to shift your outside circumstances by changing your language patterns. So have a look for yourself now, in your life, in your circumstances. What language patterns can you begin to change? What language patterns can you choose differently so that you can begin to have different outside circumstances, more abundant outside circumstances, more than enough at the end of the month instead of lack and scarcity? Put it down in the comments below and let me know, what language patterns are you willing to change?